All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's just shy of 4 o'clock, 5th of September. Back to do work on the floor. The goals this evening are to get that piece repaired there. And I also need to look and assess any damage that I have here in the lower B post. So I'm going to approach that essentially the same way that I approached the other side, where I'll drill all these pieces out to about here or so, and then just cut straight down and rip that piece off. There we go. And then assess that. I have a little hole down here that I could already see that I know that's going to need to get fixed. Doesn't look like it's going to be quite as bad as the other side, but obviously there's a lot of rust back there, so we'll see when we get into it. I also have an outstanding question from a guy that's doing the same type of repair, replacing the floors, asking me if I come at it from the bottom or the top to put the floor pan in. So I'm going to try to set up the tripod a little bit and show how I do that. Sorry, I forgot the username, but I'm sure he'll know it's for him when he sees it. So I'll get to that here in a little bit and then start the work. All right, so anyway, like I said, one of my viewers had asked how this floor pan went in, if I came from the top or the bottom. So now I've got the floor pan in. This is where I left it when I left the garage on Sunday. So obviously I got the cross member here. Hopefully everything can be seen in this shot. No center brace, and the one brace that I had put in here is gone. Oops. To provide some accessibility. I got a pretty good sized gap here that I need to fix, but anyway. So you take the floorboard out and it's going to drop to the bottom. If I can get it out. Need the mallet. All right. So as a little side note, the forward bracket where the bulkhead mounts, if you remember I had taken it off on the passenger side, it's kind of got like a sandwich clip on it, for lack of a better way to put it, and it kind of goes into the bop, and you got a lip here that sticks out. I haven't really cleaned that up or anything yet, so it's hanging up on the floorboard, so that's why I needed to take the mallet to it. But anyway, so what I do is I'll drop the floor in like this. Obviously everything's all cut away. I cleaned up as much as I could so that there's not any interference, obviously, except for what I had already mentioned. Drop the floorboard straight down from the top. But what that allows me to do is come from the bottom in the back, and that's where you need it to go in. Now, conveniently, there's these little holes that are in the floorboard. I think they were originally put in there for paint, to allow paint to drip off. I don't really think that they're water drains, but somebody can educate me on that if I'm wrong. The floorboard does not fit perfectly yet. I don't have it all ready to go. But what I'm doing here is bringing it into the back, and this little curve back here is where it's a little painful. You got to kind of get it up in there, slide it up into this lip here. Be cool if I had two cameras. You could do like multiple views. Get it in right there, but then you see the front here is not really in, or at least hopefully you can see that. So now, with holding it up and kind of sort of in the back there, you just kind of press it down until it clears the bulkhead, and then come forward with it. Now, like I said, I have some problems with that lip hanging up, and it's hanging up on me now. So I'm going to try to push forward a little bit and bang down a little bit here. Yep, there it went. All right, so now, like I said, the floorboard still needs to be fit up, and I still need to make some adjustments. But now, that's really about as close as I'm going to be able to get it. So I'm going to grab the mic, or the camera, excuse me, off the tripod real quick, and I'll try to show some highlights here, some close-ups. So hopefully this is helping answer the question on how to get it in. I'm going to take the camera off and make you a little sick here. We'll do a little fly around. Here we go. So you can see there, I'm gonna have to fill in that little gap there, and come to here in the gap in the back. Now you'll notice, if you can see, hopefully here, let me get my camera situated. See this little indentation here? Matches with this, whatever you want to call that, where it pops out a little bit. There's another indentation over here on this side. Now I had the same thing on the last one, and essentially that's one floorboard for the run of models, and I guess later cars had a little divot back there too, but I just beat the heck out of that thing and draw it, or make it, flatten it out, just to make it fit. And then up here, you can see that it kind of sandwiches down in between underneath the floorboard. You come outside, and you can see the that needs to come a little bit more forward than it is. Actually, I should be much more evened up than I am underneath here, but that would come in. And then maybe you can see, hopefully, where the black is and that little sandwich that I'm talking about. There's a metal piece from the firewall, and then there's a metal tab that sits underneath that's attached to that bracket. And I haven't cleaned that totally up on the firewall side of it because the outrigger's in the way. So I got some weld, spot weld debris on there that I wasn't able to clean up. So anyway, that's how I got the floorboard in. Obviously, there's a lot of tedious stuff here to mark it, take it out, cut it, put it back in, fit it, try and get as close as I can and all that, and just do a bunch of iterations. I got a lot of overlap here that I'm going to have to cut out, but I'm waiting on, and there we go. But for now, like I had mentioned, I'm going to get into this bottom of the back of the inner sill and the front here and get this piece repaired. That's what I'm going to focus on for now. Hopefully that answers the question that my viewer had. Again, I apologize that I don't remember your username, but I'm sure they've only got 50, 60 people that watch this thing regularly, so I'm sure you'll know who I'm talking to. So hopefully this helps. If not, please feel free to ask more questions. Hopefully you see that I get back to you guys pretty quick, and I'll see if I can give you a different angle or something like that, help you out. All right, thanks. 454, quick update. Peeling apart the front here. I wish I had taken more time with the other side of doing this. I'm trying to figure out how this goes together. So it looks like the bulkhead's got a flange, and that flange meets up with the flange of the lower A-post. That's what I'm looking for. So I got that all cleaned up, make a new piece to fit in there. Obviously need to come over here a little bit and come up with that piece. So I'm going to bang this around and try to flatten it out a little bit and make it a little prettier. Another paper trick in there, just like I found on the other side. That's cool. And then in the back here, the damage is a little bit more extensive than I thought. Unfortunately, it's a pretty good hole, and unfortunately it goes behind the heel board weld area. So I think the only way that I'm going to be able to do this properly, and I don't want to cut the heel board out, is unfortunately going to have to cut away this guy over here, which a couple of the places that I've read for replacement, you have to cut this out to get to that weld that meets the lower B post to the strengthener. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I'll try to do a minimal cut there, save as much as I can, and reuse it. So I'll try to be especially careful with that. But I think that's the best way to try and get at this and get it cleaned up and get a new piece welded in there. But we'll see how that goes. All right, that's it. All right, it's 5:57, almost 6 o'clock. Quick update. Got this piece all formed. Getting ready to weld it in here. I haven't touched the back at all. That was a little painful, but not too bad, actually. Like I said, I wish I had paid a little bit more attention on the other side, taking this front cap off. So I'll tack and then kind of bang and tap and tack and kind of bang a little bit just to get it formed well. I haven't touched the back at all. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. Another gourmet meal this evening. Chicken salad, snacks, more olives, and Cheez-It sandwich crackers. Classic cheddar flavor. Check back in later. All right, it's 8:14, final update for the night. Let me get a light before I forget. So I got this front rail here repaired. The reason it's wet looking, if you can see that, is I put some rust converter on there just to kind of keep it covered up. Obviously some holes, it's not completely done yet, but I'm also going to weld over top of it and put the floor in, so I figure it doesn't need to be perfect now. I remembered to punch the holes in it, so not too bad, not too sad with that one. Same thing in here. I got some rust converter in there. I had to cut that whole piece out, so it ended up being a lot better, or excuse me, a lot worse of a rust problem than I had originally planned or thought. Of course, I should have expected that. And this inner wheel arch part here is also eaten up a little bit, so I'll be cutting that out. From this side here, pretty straight cut though, for as far as the lower B panel patch that I have to make. That actually ended up being worse than the driver's side. I hope, as much as I hate to say that, I hope, but I don't remember seeing as bad of a hole over there, but I definitely don't remember digging in as much. But you can see here that the panel that I took out, so it should be relatively easy to reproduce, obviously with the exception of that rounded hole. I guess I could try to save that and weld it into the new piece, but I just don't think that's going to be worth it. I got to look up online or something and see if I can figure out how to do that. Piece of wood or something, maybe cut just right and just shallow. I'm not sure if I can do that, or even if it's really worth it. But unfortunately, that was really it. Here's the piece that I cut out of the fender. You can see that all that cancer there, so I'll be replacing that whole back corner, that whole angle piece there, but that shouldn't be too bad. And also got some pretty good sized pits there. That's probably not going to be able to do a weld buildup on that, so I'll cut that whole piece out there and weld in a new piece also. So yeah, so not as far along as I had hoped, but you know, it is what it is. Taking my time, obviously, and trying to do it right. I still haven't tried to fit the doors over there yet, just because it's not. I'm just delaying the inevitable, I guess, and to go back and check, but it's not going to really do me any good right now to know, because I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get bad news over there. But anyway, so continuing on. And that's it for tonight. That's it for this week as far as the work week goes. I don't think I have anything going on this weekend, so I shouldn't have any problems getting over here either Saturday or Sunday, depending. And that's about it. So thanks for all your views lately. Like if you want to like. What are you supposed to say here? Like if you like, and if you like it a lot, subscribe, I guess. Whatever the YouTubers say. Those whippersnappers. So have a good night, everybody. Cheers.